Today I want to talk about standard cost. Hi, my name is Alicia, and a few weeks ago I posted a video on how to update standard cost for items that you purchase, specifically items that you purchase and you burden them, or they have overhead costs associated with them. And I was talking to a colleague of mine today, and we were talking through a business process, and her particular client is going to use standard cost, but they want to update the standard cost pretty frequently. So maybe once a month, every 3 months, that kind of thing. And so the traditional answer that I would give somebody is like, hey, you're going to export out the last purchase price for your item. You're going to put it in a spreadsheet. You're going to adjust it as needed. And then you're going to import that as a pending cost. And then you're going to activate it. And if you're doing that once a year, maybe twice a year, that's not too bad. And, it's kind of a lot, but it's not too bad. But then I thought, you know what? I think there's a better way. So I went into our sandbox and I just ran a test. And I want to share it with you because I think it may revolutionize how you update your standard cost. So what I did was I'm going to start out showing you the cost sheet. And again, if you want to refer back to the other video on costing on the cost sheet for purchase items, that might be helpful for you. So whenever you create a cost sheet, you can do it for either a note of cost of purchased goods, or you can do it for cost of goods manufactured. And I don't know if this particular cost sheet has that in here or not. But the point is, I want to do it for cost of purchased items. So in this node section, I've actually created a cost group called AK with no overhead, right? So because I was trying to run a test, I was like, what if I have the raw material cost or finished good cost, for that matter, it doesn't really matter, it's something I'm going to buy, but I don't want any overhead added to it. Can I use the cost sheet? Because the beautiful thing about using the cost sheet versus dumping out your last purchase price and then putting it in a spreadsheet and importing it as a pending cost and activating it is that if you're using the cost sheet, you can set all of it up on a batch job to run automatically for you every month or every 3 months or whatever, or you can manually kick it off. And there's no really back and forth with Excel, unless of course you choose to do that. So on the cost sheet, I just added this cost group, and again, it's something very basic. And then I went to my item. So I'm going to show you my item. So product information management, released products. And I'm going to find my item. So here's my item. And under the Manage Cost Fast tab, you can see I gave it this costing group of AK and OH, so Alicia Keener, no overhead. And then I went and ran the batch job to see if it would indeed just pull in my last purchase price. So if you have this field set up, your cost group populated, what the system is going to do is going to go to the cost sheet and it's going to say under that purchase node, what am I supposed to do? Well, what it's going to do is it's going to grab, you typically will set this to yes, and then you're going to give it I'm on the wrong tab here. I want to go under purchase. So under purchase up here, we will set this last purchase price field to yes, and then we're going to give it the purchase price. Now what happens is in the system, every time you buy something and you invoice it, the system will update this last purchase price based upon that PO invoice. So this last purchase price is the last price you paid for it. So that's what this price is here. So when I run this cost sheet calculation for my items, the system's going to say, oh, I want this item. My new standard cost is just going to be the last purchase price. So that's the logic that's being used. Now, once I'm on the item, if I want to manually kick this off, I can go to item price, go to pending, and I can calculate my item. That's how I can do it one by one. But if you want to set up like on a batch job, or you want it to be like for a whole lot of items, like a whole group of items, where you're going to go for that is under cost management. And then you're going to go under costing versions. Once you're in your costing version, you can go to calculation. You can give it your site. And then for us, since we're just doing like here, I'm just going to do purchase. So I'm going to untick production. But if I wanted to, I could do that as well. And this is for planned orders. Again, not really important for what we're doing. So I'm giving it my site. And then over here, for records to include, in your example, probably in your business, you would leave that blank because you may want to calculate standard cost for everything. In my example, I'm just going to do this one item so that I'm not waiting to watch it run. Did it go in there? Okay. Now, if I wanted this to run in the background and run in a batch job, I could set this to yes. Then I could go to reoccurrence and set that to run like once a month and once every 3 months, or whatever I choose to set it at. In this example, I'm just going to run it once to show you how it works. But the beauty of this is that you can set it up to run on a batch job, so you're not having to manually go do this process. So I'm going to click OK. And what it just did is it went out to my cost sheet and it was reading through the different things I wanted it to do, and it found my item. And if I go to price now and item price and go to pending, you can see here's my item, and guess what? It's $10, and that's what my last purchase price was. So all I have to do at this point, if I'm satisfied with these, then I can activate these in a batch. So again, you could also set that up on a batch, or you can manually kick it off. To do that, you can go over here back to the costing version that we have, and you just click on activate. And then if you want, again, here, purchase price, again, you can do different things. And for my filter, normally you would leave it blank. In my case, I just want to do this one. And we'll click that and OK. And that's really all there is to it. And now when I say OK, it's going to go take that pending cost for my item and now activate it. So if I go back to price and item price, active, and I search for Alicia, we should see that it's $100. Did it not activate? Let's see. Oh, it's still sitting here. And maybe I picked, did it not activate? Let's see. Let's go back and see what I did wrong. So we're going to click on activate. It's my, oh, I'm sorry, I did purchase price. I take the wrong box. So it's cost price, and then that's there, and then OK. And then that should activate that. We should get that little bar at the top. Says it's complete, and it should say 1. Okay, perfect. And then we go to item, and then item price. You can see it's no longer pending. If we look at active prices, there it is for $10. So if you want to use your cost sheet to update your standard cost, even if you don't have any overhead, all you have to do is go into the cost sheet, add your cost groups, and then make sure those cost groups are on your items that you purchase, and then you can update your standard cost using the automated batch processes for item calculation and activation.